This is part 2, episode 238. Everyone sat down again, enjoying the good food and wine, the atmosphere becoming lively again. However, it was also during this process that the witch said something, making everyone spray out the wine from their mouths, Qingyi becoming incredibly ashamed, almost risking it all against her. "Don't you have one in there? Why can't I see it anything?" the witch asked. Qingyi was momentarily stunned, while the little rabbit widened her large eyes, directly asking, "Have what?" "I am saying that in the lower realm, I heard that Qingyi had one in immortal ancient remains." "Already gave birth?" the witch asked with a smile. Alcohol immediately sprayed in all directions, everyone shocked. The ones who were currently enjoying good food were also like this, the food in their mouths all dropping to the ground. Some of the wine and food dropped in the lake, attracting multicolored divine fish. Multicolored light flickered about, these fish swimming back and forth. Qingyi's expression was red, embarrassment and anger mixing together. She was originally graceful, but now, she was immediately flustered, almost flipping the table in front of her. "I'm guessing you already secretly gave birth. Is it a boy or girl?" the witch said, extremely gossipy. Wow, is this real or fake? Older sis Qingyi, you really aren't sincere. How can you hide these types of things, actually not telling me?" the little rabbit cried out strangely. Everyone was a bit stupefied. Some of them knew that something ambiguous had happened between Shahao and Qingyi in the 3,000 provinces' immortal ancient remains. Right now, they really were shocked. It had to be said that right now, Qinhao was a bit stunned, saying, "Big brother, you too have a child, why didn't you leave that child in the 3,000 Dao provinces? Father and mother really do miss us, if you leave that child with them to take care of, this isn't a bad idea either." Qingyi almost coughed out blood, standing up, unable to sit still anymore. This was especially because Shahao was also lacking in confidence, acting a bit stunned, looking at her blankly, stammering as he said, "Really, have one? Where is the child?" These two brothers both had this expression, really were from the same mother after all, their faces extremely similar. At this moment, forget about those who had heard the secrets, even those who weren't familiar with things understood. A few things had happened between the two before, extremely shocking and complex matters occurring between them. This is a happy occasion, worth congratulating. Cao Yusheng slapped the table. Congratulations. Even Chang Gongyang, who was a few words, began to congratulate them, move over reaching into his bosom to find some gifts. At this moment, Qingyi already completely woke up, freeing herself from the anger that made her shake all over, face completely red. The first thing she did when she snapped back wasn't to stake it all against the witch, but rather to viciously attack Shahao, who was almost within reach, truly wishing to tear him apart. She had never met such a slow man, truly leaving her beyond angry. This fella was normally extremely smart, yet just now, he put on a dumb expression. There was also his little brother Qinhao, having that stupefied look. That type of expression, those words made Qingyi want to give him a beating too. Shahao was normally incredibly sharp, but right now, he really was acting stupid. The main reason was because some things really did happen back then, and now that he saw Qingyi become so embarrassed and dumbstruck, he really was stunned, thinking that he really did have a child. One had to understand that a few years ago, he was still wandering around the world, catching vicious beasts and cooking them. He was still a naughty and mischievous youth himself. Now, he actually heard this, that he suddenly had a child, it really frightened him badly. "Stop hitting me." Shahao backed up. If not for his body being sturdy and unbreaking, comparable to a body cultivator, he would have definitely been beaten badly by Qingyi, that refined fist extremely strong. "What is going on? I only mentioned it. Did I end up hitting the nail on the head?" The witch looked immensely proud of herself, pouring wine for herself, her large eyes blinking about, looking like a crafty little fox. "Witch, you are slandering my pure reputation. I want a decisive battle." After Qingyi vented a bit of anger onto Shahao, she directly rushed murderously at the witch. She was as light as a feather, white clothes fluttered about under the moonlight, as if the lunar goddess had descended into this world, incredibly pure and aloof, holy and untainted. You think I'll be scared of you? Just come then. The witch raised a small jar, pouring wine into her mouth, releasing a small hiccup. Her large eyes drifted over, not appearing bothered at all. She wore black clothes, beautiful and crafty like a fairy, going tit for tat with Qing Yi. A black and a white figure charged at each other, an intense battle quickly starting. Their clothes fluttered about, extremely graceful, possessing an indescribable type of beauty. This feast could be considered to have come to an end. However, everyone didn't feel disappointed, instead rather happy, in high spirits as they watched the battle here. Shahao was the only one with a bitter expression, speechless as he watched. Then, he turned around to give Qin Hao a look, discovering that he still had a shocked, slightly confused expression, immediately pissed off as a result. Peng. He directly slapped his little brother's head. Brother, why are you hitting me? Qin Hao became angry. The moonlight disappeared, a dark cloud drifting over between heaven and earth. An ancient existence rumbled and swayed about, appearing above the academy. This was an iron-blood ancient tree, one of the protectors of the academy. There is a situation. There are intruders. During this peaceful night, under the brilliant night sky, in Heavenly Deity Institution, there was actually this type of warning voice. Everyone became stupefied, not daring to believe what they were hearing. Someone dared infiltrate Heavenly Deity Institution, who was actually bold enough to do something crazy like this. The cultivators in all of the caves and spiritual mountains stood up, even those by the small lake. Shahao and the others were shocked, all of them getting up. The iron-blood ancient tree was incredibly large like a mountain ridge, the roots inserted in the void. Its entire body was scarlet red like blood. It floated in the sky, covering the stars and moon. This was an ancient tree that had lived for who knew how many years, one that could shelter a tribe, defend an ancient city, possessing unimaginable uses. It was previously the guardian spirit of a great clan, only now, it became one of the ancient trees that protected Heavenly Deity Institution. In the night sky, 7 or 8 elders appeared in succession, soaring into the sky. Every one of them looking like they were facing a great enemy, their expressions serious as they looked into the sky. Ever since Heavenly Deity Institution was established, they had never encountered such a thing. Just how many people dared to come and act wildly? One had to understand that this was an academy built by the hidden experts of the 9 heavens 10 earths, with exceptional individuals overseeing it. Who dared to go against it? Not even the long-life families dared to rashly offend this place, let alone deliberately provoking it like this. In that direction, Shahao pointed west. There was an oppressive aura there, sweeping over like a great flood. That was hostility, the enemy was just this brash and undisguised, feeling no restraining fear. What kind of creature? They were all confused. Just what kind of powerful creature was attacking? In the horizon, the stellar light became dim, black mists appearing. There was a strange creature that opened its eyes, overlooking Heavenly Deity Institution, those eyes carrying a deep and cold feeling. It finally appeared. Even though there was still a large distance between them, one could still see a devil mask. It was incredibly sinister, currently gazing in this direction. This devil face was a light golden color. Even though there was golden light swirling about, there wasn't the slightest bit of sacred aura, but rather only a dark and gloomy feeling, extremely ominous, wrapped within a black haze. A great spider. The little rabbit cried out in alarm, because that creature was closing in, gradually revealing its original body. It was even larger than a mountain. An enormous creature towered in the dark mist. It had 8 legs, incomparably sinister looking. It was just too big. When it opened its mouth, golden light surged like a volcano. This was a giant spider, one that was entirely golden in color with 3 heads, precisely a 3-headed king, the 2 heads on its side respectively a human head and a lion head, both of them also golden. The black haze before was too thick, only a single head moving with the night wind visible. When the mist scattered a bit, its true body could vaguely be made out. Heavens, this is a 3-headed king. Someone cried out in alarm, recognizing what type of background its true body had, his expression immediately changing as a result. It was because this type of creature didn't belong to this world. Wasn't this a foreign creature? Why did it appear here? Moreover, it was too powerful, far exceeding the one Shahao had previously killed, its cultivation realm astonishing. Golden three-headed king, few in number even on the other side, a king race, a peerless expert. The expression of an elder suddenly changed, becoming extremely serious. A blood-colored war spear instantly appeared in his hands. It was scarlet red like carnelian, carrying a baleful aura, scarlet and shining, incomparably sharp. Heavenly deity institutions elders normally rarely used weapons, yet now, after just seeing the opponent, this person immediately produced a weapon. One could imagine how tense the atmosphere was. An ancient language that was difficult to understand appeared. This enormous creature, who was even larger than an archaic demonic peak, spoke, its voice resounding, shaking up endless mountains and ravines. What is he saying? He is asking who killed its descendant. There was a powerful creature, who could sense its intention through divine will, learning why the golden three-headed king came. Right now, everyone shivered inwardly. How did it cross over? Could it be that the foreign creatures were slaughtering their way into the 9 heavens 10 earths? Last time, in Immortal Battlefield, by borrowing the Heaven and Earth pouch as a spatial gate, a group of creatures, who hadn't fully matured yet, strength comparatively not that profound yet arrived. However, they could only stay within that area, unable to truly slaughter their way over. Now, this three-headed king appeared, clearly ridiculously powerful, so how did it appear here? What kind of special methods did it have? Heavens, a mature golden three-headed king, who can match him in strength. Is this world really going to fall into chaos? The foreign creature are slaughtering their way over. Someone said while trembling. This was an absolute disaster no one was prepared for yet. Why is it like this? Are the two realms going to fight? Is the world going to be enveloped in flames, blood flow like rivers? Some people's voices began to tremble. There was nothing worse than this. This language that was difficult to understand, powerful and forceful syllables sounded from the three-headed king's direction. Many people couldn't understand it, but they could see its coldness and contempt. It was because in its eyes, the reactions of the people here were just too lacking in battle intent, lacking a courageous spirit. Its true body didn't come, only using a sacrificial platform to transmit over a void image. Otherwise, its magical body's strength will likely crush the void. An elder said, seeing the real situation. An indistinct altar appeared in the black mist. It was extremely large, at the same time extremely tattered. This was something from immortal ancient, buried a long time ago, only appearing now. The altar shone, many symbols appearing on its surface, extremely complex, but also carrying a type of beauty. Everyone felt as if their minds were drawn to it. It was shining, producing a giant spider projection, allowing it to appear here. This is an altar from immortal ancient great era that the foreign creatures used to retreat. Even though it can't transport them over, casting some projections over isn't a problem. Back then, after the calamity passed, those who survived from long-life families all moved, searching about in the 9 heavens 10 earths and destroying these altars, but there were still a few that were overlooked. The two elders spoke, helping everyone understand what was going on. What exactly does it want? Everyone was confused, not knowing why it suddenly appeared here. Not everyone could sense the three-headed king's spiritual fluctuations. Even though it was a void figure, it was still extremely frightening. Normal people's divine will directly scattering when it reached out. It is going to send an emissary over to deliver a letter. What? An emissary is going to come. They can move between the two worlds. The altar was hazy. Countless symbols were released, and then in the end, they condensed into a door, opening in the void, forcefully linking up the two worlds, merging them together. In that instant, many people heard roaring sounds, leaving them terrified. Many gods and devils from the other shore roared and struggled, all of them wishing to make their way over. There were undying beings in that world, the most powerful group of ancient creatures, perhaps some who were alive even during the last great era's battle. Clatter, whoosh. Noises sounded. Someone was walking over, moving through that gate, not too rushed or too slow as it arrived in this world. This creature's body was covered in armor, unknown if it was male or female. It wrapped tightly around it, even the head covered by a helmet, only revealing a pair of eyes. Everyone couldn't help but suck in a cold breath of air, because this armor was made of immortal gold, dark light flickering about. Even though that type of black immortal gold was rumored to be inauspicious, extremely strange, it was still extremely eye-grabbing. Darkness immortal gold armor. This emissary's body was actually covered in such a world-shocking armor, truly a bit shocking. That was but darkness immortal gold, one of the most rare and innately precious treasures. Darkness immortal gold, black light flickered about, but it was also sparkling and brilliant, like black jade. It gave the wearer a type of poised and grand appearance. It seems to be a woman, or else why would the face be hidden, covered by armor, not letting others see? Someone said softly. After this human-shaped creature appeared, it raised its two hands towards the starry sky, and then took a deep breath, as if it was experiencing something. Right at this time, the armor on its body flickered about, many great Tao symbols shining in response as well, as if they were examining something. It is clearly probing this world's natural laws and strength, making preparations for the all-out attack on the 9 heavens 10 earths. An elder said. Soon after, its armor began to shake, releasing dark light, protecting its entire body. Still rejected by this world. When will this be changed? On that altar, the three-headed king said quietly, already impatient. You are a foreign emissary, if you have something to say, please say it. An elder said. The creature surrounded by darkness immortal gold was tall and slender, not all that domineering, because everything was isolated by the darkness immortal gold. Right now, it jumped off the altar and walked in the void, heading towards heavenly deity institution. Everyone's expressions changed. This was not a void figure, but a real body, a living expert. It came over just like that. Under the night sky, that creature walked over step by step, its figure tall and slender. However, its true appearance couldn't be seen, everything around its body covered by black jade-like black gold armor. The ice-cold metal armor flickered with luster, the dark light sparkling, giving one a type of malevolent feeling. This figure was mysterious, because its true appearance couldn't be seen, and it also came from a different place. So it couldn't avoid being the center of attention even if it didn't want to. As it approached heavenly deity institution, all eyes were cast over. During this process, the darkness immortal gold armor on its body shone, great Tao symbols continuously flickering about, inspecting this world's various natural laws. Are you trying to provoke us? Trying to understand the circumstances here, and then bring back information, so it will be easier for you all to unleash war against us? An elder from Heavenly Deity Institution said. It is an emissary, merely here to send a message, you all are overthinking things. That enormous three-headed king above the massive altar spoke. Its body really was giant, covering the moon and stars, too large. This was its voice, rumbling like thunder, frightening everyone. Hand over the letter. An elder spoke. After learning that the three-headed king was only a void projection, and not the true body, the elders released a sigh. Otherwise, who knew how many people would die today? The darkness immortal gold armor flickered with brilliance. This person walked up silently, and with a chong sound, a jade book flew out from its armor, entering an elder's hands. Heavenly Deity Institution's elders all huddled together to read the letter together. They immediately frowned, all of them revealing angry expressions. Advising us to surrender, why not just directly tell us to kill ourselves instead? Fourth elder laughed coldly. It has been written in the letter that you all can be granted the undying. In the distance, golden light swirled about. The enormous spider body moved, incomparably sinister and frightening. The golden three-headed king was too terrifying. Even though it was just a void figure, it was still not something an ordinary person could deal with. What a joke, grant us the undying. How many creatures are there in this world who can truly not die? There are still a few ancestors who crossed over back then that are still live, but can they stop time? The Academy's fifth elder directly criticized. They are all alive. The heroic ancestors who came to this world to fight have not aged, how could time harm them? It's already been said that they are undying. The golden three-headed king corrected sternly. When they heard these words, those present all gasped, feeling a deep wave of powerlessness. Perhaps there is no need to even resist, the conclusion had long been set in stone. There is no need to feel discouraged. If they were powerful enough, they would have arrived a long time ago. Why would there be a need to scheme and do things in such a roundabout manner? Second elder, who hadn't appeared for a long time, spoke, encouraging the academy's disciples. That makes sense as well. Telling us those few individuals are still alive is nothing more than intimidation. Cao Yusheng said. A group of people spoke up in agreement. We are willing to establish a divine country, allowing everyone to transcend, all become undying, help everyone in this world. The three-headed king said. Really speaking words that sound better than singing. Second elder mocked. What needs to be said we already wrote down in that letter. The project to help everyone pursue the undying is also included, you all should carefully read it. The three-headed king said. The entire world undying, are you delirious? An elder couldn't help but laugh coldly. This was too ridiculous. Perhaps there are some in this world who have spread falsehoods about us, saying we are endlessly vicious, our evil crimes overflowing into the heavens, but these things are not true. The three-headed king said. Everyone was stunned. Just what kind of letter did he give the academy's elders? Was it saying that the foreign creatures were extremely gentle and kind? This was too absurd. In everyone's memories, the foreign creatures were always wicked beyond redemption in the bone books. Now, the foreign three-headed king actually did this type of thing. Cease your nonsense. You all only wish to see how the world is now. What is the point of bringing up all of this nonsensical talk? Third elder was extremely severe. He stared straight at the emissary before him, but no matter how he tried, he couldn't see through this individual, unable to see its age, sex, or other things. Heavenly Deity Institution's fifth elder took action, reaching a hand over towards the creature in the dark armor, wishing to imprison its primordial spirit and prevent it from committing suicide. He didn't hold back at all. If not for the darkness immortal gold armor previously being refined by an exceptional individual, engraving mysterious patterns, it would have definitely been difficult for this person to escape disaster. Despite this being the case, there was no way this creature wouldn't be injured. Fifth elder's hand made contact with that black armor. It was as if he was striking against metal, the noise loud and clear. That was the sound of immortal gold, providing some cushioning, stopping the divine force. It made one's mind tremble greatly. You want to kill it? The golden three-headed king's voice sounded. Don't think that I don't know what you all are waiting for. Isn't it nothing more than to use this person to probe the world's natural laws and restrictions? You should cease your delusions. Fifth elder shouted. At the same time, this time, he used his true cultivation, operating divine force, preparing to capture that creature covered in darkness immortal gold armor. If we discuss the undying, you all do not believe. Right now, there is an extremely unordinary person standing before your eyes, yet you all do not recognize them, or perhaps you all have long forgotten. The three-headed king said. Everyone was shocked. What was he implying? These words could easily produce misunderstandings. Moreover, at this moment, three-headed king took action. Spider silk poured down like a waterfall, descending from the starry sky, sparkling and brilliant, making those who saw it feel alarmed. That was clearly a large mutated spider, right now spewing out silk to form a web. Even though it had 3 heads, this was still how it attacked. The spider silk wrapped around that emissary, moreover stopping Heavenly Deity Academy's 5th elder. The 3-headed king was merely a void figure, yet it could take action itself, a streak of divine light rushing over. Under King Cheong sounds, the 3-headed king chanted an incantation. Some areas of the armor made from darkness immortal gold shone, opening up. Then, with a light pu sound, the emissary was injured. Why is he injuring someone from his own side, a madman? Someone cried out. Yi, why is there golden liquid dispersing into that emissary's surroundings? Some strange events that were strange and sinister looking happened, drawing many people's attention. That's blood, golden blood. Heavens, what kind of creature is this? A few people cried out in alarm. The blood was too pure and holy, extremely beautiful, not carrying any bloody odor, but instead an indescribable aura. This place erupted. There might be some species whose blood carried golden light, but it was definitely different from what they were seeing. It was just too divine and beautiful. It was clearly a type of blood, but it still drew everyone's attention, truly not simple. Why is there golden divine blood flowing? What kind of origin does it have? The three-headed king is clearly implying something. What exactly is going on? The disciples from the academy didn't understand, all of them revealing expressions of doubt. However, the expressions of the most powerful elders in the academy all changed, including fifth elders. He immediately stopped, no longer rashly provoking the other side. It is that type of blood, there is no mistake. I never expected this type of blood can still reappear in this world after endless time has passed, not being severed. It truly is good news that makes one excited and moved. Heavenly deity institutions elders were speaking, their fingers shaking slightly, feeling extremely shocked, all of them extremely moved. Ha ha, there was someone still seems to remember that this type of blood exists in this world. The three-headed king laughed loudly. Can seniors tell us what is going on? Someone from the academy asked. He is a descendant of a protector. Only the blood of the people of this bloodline is this sacred, a golden color. Second elder replied. Everyone gasped, this person was a protector's descendant. What era was that person from? Even though they had long guessed, they still wanted to obtain verification. Immortal ancient great era. They did too many things, protecting this world. Even though their family is small in number, they continuously fought, stopping the foreign enemies, only, this clan's people all died in battle, all light fading. This family defended this world, establishing endless great service, this clan becoming known as protectors. Even though their members were few, the number countable on a single hand, they possessed distinctive traits. When they were injured, what flowed out would be golden blood, holy and untainted. This clan was ancient to the point where it could be traced back to the most ancient era. Everyone had thought that this clan had been completely wiped out, the few that were left also dying in battle, not leaving behind any descendants. They never expected the three-headed king to bring back someone who had golden blood flowing through its body. It was rumored that the reason why this race was so powerful was precisely because the golden blood within them provided them with unmatched strength. This is a descendant of the protectors. How can this person be in your world? At this moment, even the great elder was shaken up, unable to sit still any longer. They couldn't let the protectors go extinct, because they established unmatched merit in the past, so they couldn't allow their descendants to be wiped out, or else that would be too cruel. What is your intention? Fourth elder shouted, not understanding why the three-headed king would bring this kind of important individual. Now that the protectors hadn't completely died out, they had to shelter this person. For this world, the protectors had previously paid too much. We researched for a long time. The so-called unmatched bloodline, most powerful blood, the color can also change. We brought it back this time to let you all have a look. This video will end here.